Hi warriors, we're going to start this session on the floor, sitting up nice and tall. Try and cross your legs, but when I say cross your legs, try not to have those ankles crossed over. As soon as we start crossing over through these ankles, that's going to put our pelvis into a bit of an angle, and as a result our spine is going to compensate and curve in a way that is not suited for our natural alignment. So instead, separate the feet so that you can see both ankle joints when you look down. When we talk about sitting up nice and tall, imagine you're being drawn up through the top of your head. As well as this, you also want to have a nice, straight, long spine with the chin slightly tucked back towards your neck and the gaze coming down. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and take some deep breaths in and out. Just be conscious of what's going on with your body. Where are you holding any tension? What's going on with the muscles around your face, around your shoulders, and through the rest of your body? Every single time you take that deep breath in, think about elongating even further up through your spine and through the top of your head. As you breathe out, imagine all those muscles relaxing just that tiny bit more. Try and get as deep breaths into your body as you can, and try and get out as much air from your lungs as you can. Have a think about what's going on as you take that deep breath in. Are your shoulders rising up? Are you moving through the top part of your chest? Are you moving through the bottom part or through the belly? At the moment, all we're doing is reconnecting our mind with our body and being more conscious of what we're doing. For the next time you take that deep breath in, breathe into the belly, feeling a softness as it expands out and to the front. As you keep drawing that breath in, breathe into those ribs, expanding out through the back, through the sides, and to the front as well. Try and keep the shoulders and the top half of your body fairly still. Focusing on this inhale, draw that breath deep down into the depth of your belly. As you do so, try and relax through the whole of the pelvic floor. Try and open up through those ribs to accommodate that extra big breath you're taking. We're now going to add in the exhale. Every single time you breathe out now, start by gathering in your pelvic floor. Gather it in from back to front, side to side, and gently draw up through the center of your body towards your heart. Make this one smooth, continuous movement. Try not to force it. And let's make that exhale even more effective. Now, as you're drawing in and gathering in the pelvic floor, gently feel the stomach muscles just underneath your belly button activate and tighten as though you're rolling up a tube of toothpaste. When you get up to the ribs, imagine squeezing them around your spine. You're drawing them together and away from the outside and that touch of your top. Continue taking these beautiful deep breaths in, breathing in energy and sunshine, filling up your body with amazing air. And every single time you breathe out, get rid of all the things that just don't serve you. Focus on getting rid of those anxieties, those stresses, that tiredness you might be feeling, anything which is niggling that you can't quite shake off. Continue with your breathing. We're now going to intensify that focus as well, and we're going to take it into 1, 2 breathing. Take your deep breath in for a count of 4. And double time your exhale. Breathe out for a count of 8. Keep flooding your body with oxygen, taking that deep breath in for a count of 4. And slow down your exhale. Continue to sit up nice and tall. Feel the relaxation through your legs and through those thighs. Relax the muscles around your face. By focusing on our exhale, we are calming down our body. We are trying to still our minds. If you feel like that is too easy, take it up to an inhale of 5 and an exhale of 10. Always try and improve, whether that's by increasing your breath count or by making it feel as effortless as possible. Don't forget, as you breathe in, expand through the belly. Let that air fill up through the belly first before you start opening up through your ribs. And as you breathe out, gather in the pelvic floor. Gently engage those lower abdominals and feel like you're drawing those ribs around your spine. This is a fantastic way to breathe. It starts exercising and strengthening your diaphragm. And it also starts reconnecting your mind with your pelvic floor and your stomach muscles. We can often lose that reconnection. At the same time, we're also strengthening and reactivating those deep core muscles. We've got a few more rounds, so focus. Try your best. In life, the only thing we can do is our best. Strive not for perfection, but just to do your hardest at the task you've got in front of you. Now at the end of your next exhale, you're going to float those arms up above your head into a beautiful stretch. And we're going to walk the arms. So feel a nice stretch through the side of the body. Let's start awakening our muscles. Let's start getting a little bit more blood flow to where it needs. Good stuff. That right elbow comes into that right leg. And we're going to stretch all the way over. So with this stretch, think about reaching up, elongate through your spine, try and create space through your vertebrae. Keep stretching the whole way over, make sure you're breathing. One of the rules in this class is not to hold your breath. As soon as you hold your breath, you are going to start increasing the pressure in that cavity, in your abdominal cavity. And pressure will always find the weakest spot. And that's either going to be down your midline or it's going to be down through your pelvic floor. Get a deep breath in. Let's take it all the way up. We're going to have the hands on the shoulders and big stretches opening up through the chest. Let's take it first one way and then the other. Good. Little rotation. Left hand is going to come over into the right knee. The right hand is coming just down behind us. We're going to sit up as tall as we can before we take a gentle glance over our shoulder. We're not trying to perform anything from The Exorcist. So take this nice and gently. If you feel any tension and already pulling, especially if you've got a C-section scar, then that might be a sign that C-section scar tissue massage might be a good idea for you. Take the hand over to the side of the knee, the hand comes back. You sit up nice and tall first before you take your gaze gently over to the side. Good. And back down towards the center. From here, we're going to uncurl our legs and let's start mobilizing through our shoulders. The arm comes out in front of us. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Our other hand is on our knee to keep us upright. And driving through those shoulder blades with the rest of the body really still. We're taking that hand forwards and back a couple of times. We're starting to lubricate now through the shoulder joints. We're starting to get the blood flowing to this area. It's really important, shoulders. We need shoulders a lot. And shoulders are fantastic because we have a lot of mobility and a lot of movement through our shoulders, but they're not so good for strength. And as a parent, you need to be strong. There's a lot of picking up and carrying that goes on with children, and they're just gonna get heavier. So taking care of your shoulders is also gonna help you to take care of your children. Take it up and down. Good. Try and keep the rest of your body as still as you can. We're just isolating through this area now. Fantastic. Place the hands behind you. You're going to use them for some support to keep your back up nice and tall. Let's step these feet out a little bit wider, and both knees are going to roll down to one side first. Breathe out and take them over to the other side. We're just stretching now through this hip joint. It's really important that you have a nice little gentle warm up before you start doing activities. Good, one more. And back up. Let's lie down now. So first of all, roll onto your side. It's great to practice good techniques when you're doing these things, especially as we're waiting for our core and our body to start healing. So lying back down, you can have your hands however you want to. You can have your feet however you want to. We're going to take some deep breaths in. Again, breathing into that belly. You might want to have the hands on the belly. And as you breathe out, gently engage that pelvic floor from back to front, side to side, and lifting up through the body. And you're going to hold that pelvic floor contraction for the length of your exhale. As soon as you need to, take a deep breath in and release everything as much as you can. As you breathe out, gather in the pelvic floor from back to front, side to side, and lift all the way up through the body. Have a think as well as you're doing these about what's happening with the rest of your body. Can you feel that as you're breathing out, your lower back gently presses down towards the ground? Try not to force this. It's really important to focus on pelvic floor exercises. We're working on strength now. We're then going to take it into speed and endurance. So if you've started pelvic floor exercises already, then please do carry them on. If you haven't, do go get these in. Every single time you breathe out, you're gathering in your pelvic floor for a nice strong contraction that's going to last for the length of your exhale. Try and keep the muscles around the face nice and relaxed. So this is quite synergistic breathing. We've got our breathing, our stomach muscles, our diaphragm movements, all combining with this pelvic floor action at the same time. Because we're going to start learning, and this is a really good prep for when you're going to be lifting things up that are potentially quite heavy, to exhale on the effort. And as you breathe out, gently gather in your pelvic floor, and that's going to help keep you stronger and more functional through these critical areas. Focusing on endurance now. So you're going to keep breathing throughout the whole of this. You're going to gather in the pelvic floor for tight squeezes and relaxes. Let's do 12 of these. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your breath back to normal. And we're going to go in a second into our endurance. So for endurance, you're going to gather in your pelvic floor and you're going to hold it there for 30 seconds. Deep breath in. And let's start deep breath out. You're going to gather in that pelvic floor, holding this contraction at roughly 30 to 50% of effort. Make sure you're still breathing. Have some gentleness through the face as well. The only things that should be working and the only muscles that should be activating are down through our pelvic floor. You shouldn't be able to see that you're doing pelvic floor exercises. And relax completely. Take a deep breath in and out. Good stuff. So with your pelvic floor exercises, do try and get them in a variety of different positions, sitting, standing, lying down. From here, let's make sure we can just about brush the backs of our heels with our fingertips and make sure that our heels are roughly hip width apart. We're going to brace our core by taking that deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we're going to gather in and draw in that lower abdominal. We might feel our back press gently towards the ground, and we should feel a lot firmer in this area. What you can do is place a couple of fingers a few inches from your hip bones and down a little bit. And as you take that deep breath out and look at engaging, you should feel a little bit of movement and tensing up underneath. Don't worry if you can't quite feel it just yet, especially if you've only recently had your baby. It can be hard to reconnect. Drive through the heels. We're going to take those hips off the ground. Squeeze your glutes together. Good, and back down. Take a deep breath in as you come down. And let's exhale and draw that pelvic floor in as you take it up. So the trick with this is not to take your hips up too high. What we're looking to do is to take the hips only as far enough as you've still got some engagement through these core muscles. So imagine you're drawing the bottom of your ribs down towards the top of your hips and take it back down again. Good. Breathing out, take it all the way up, squeeze through your glutes and down. Let's do 6 more. 6. Go drive through those heels. 5. If you're feeling very sturdy and you want more of a challenge, take both arms up above your chest. 4. Squeeze your glutes. 3. Nice and slow. Feel into the movements. 2. And 1. Take these arms back down to the side. Drop the hips back down. This time we're going to take those hips up off the ground and into marches. So don't hold your breath at that transition point where you're taking one foot off the ground and swapping it over. So really focus on your breath, really focus on this core connection, the movement that we've got. We're trying to keep our hips as steady as we can as we take those legs up and down off the ground. You've got 6 more. Coming up, let's take that foot off the ground. Keep those hips really nice and steady. If you're feeling any pain or discomfort through the pelvis area, we're going to continue with your usual hip bridges. Okay. Good, take it nice and slowly, come all the way down. We've got 4 more. Good. Again, if you want to try and make this slightly harder and you're feeling very confident that you have nailed this position, take both arms up above your head. Good, make sure you're breathing, make sure those hips are really nice and steady. Got 2 more. A lot harder when you take the hands up off the ground because you have less support. If you feel like you're wobbling around all over the place, just take these arms back. You've got to do what is right for you and to build up your strength nice and naturally. Good. Let's draw one knee in towards our chest. Let's take the other one in, keeping our back on the floor and our head on the floor as well. Let's rotate through that lower back. First one way and then the other. So that was a big focus on glute strength. We lose a lot of glute strength during pregnancy. So important to activate and isolate that area to rebuild it. Having good glutes is also going to help us with our lower back. Now taking it into heel slides. So try and keep that neck nice and long. You might find that your chin tilts a little bit into your neck. And with one foot, you're going to draw that heel away from you. As you take that heel back in towards the ground, you want to apply a little bit of pressure through it. And you want to think about as well activating through these deep core muscles. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, think about gathering in the pelvic floor and think about your back pressing towards the ground as you activate through those lower core muscles. Take it nice and slowly. Also, if you have your hands, place them on your belly and just have a feel. What we're not looking for is that if our stomach muscles kind of pop out into a bit of a bulge or what's known as a bread loaf, we also want to make sure that we're not experiencing any doming. That's where your stomach muscles kind of come up into a bit of a point here. So if you experience any of that during this class, then that's not a problem. Don't get freaked out. Just means that you need to stop, take a moment, focus on your breathing, re-engage those lower core muscles and try again. If you're still experiencing it consistently, that is a sign that you need to do a little bit more strengthening or awareness work through that area. Let's do the last one on this side. Good, so we're taking it up a level. This time, that leg is going to come all the way down. You're going to take that breath out. You're going to draw that belly button in towards the spine, activate through those lower abdominals. You're going to lift that leg up with control and place it back down again. Good. Do 5 more on this side. So breathing out, taking it all the way up and all the way down. So if you notice that your lower back is arching off the mat and you can't control or activate through this core, then maybe this exercise isn't quite right for you at this moment. Let's go, we've got 3 more. So breathing out, take that leg up with control, keep those hips really nice and still. So precision is absolutely key. Got 2 more now. So often we find that during fitness classes, it's all about doing it as fast as you can. It's very fast and furious. And what we need to do, especially with postnatal, you have to make sure that you have got all those foundations there. Let's swap over these legs. Deep breath in and deep breath out. There's some rehab, essential rehab that needs to happen with our body first. We've got to strengthen from inside out. We have to get to know our body again. Take it nice and slow. Good. Taking that leg up, trying to keep the movements really steady, beautifully smooth. Nice, and we've got 1 more. Good. Really nice. Take it down, slowly, 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 and with control. Fantastic stuff. Let's stretch out through our lower back. We can gather a lot of tension in that area. Draw those knees in. If you can, you're going to start by flipping that sole of your foot up towards the ceiling. And let's take the other one up there as well. Draw those knees in towards your elbow. Give your stomach a little bit of room here. If you can also grab the bottom of your feet, and in this baby pose, the happy baby pose, just feel all the tension come out through your back and also through those legs as well. After you stayed here for a couple of breaths, take the feet back down with control. We're going to move onto our fronts. So we're going to spend a little bit of time on our front here. Now, if you are breastfeeding or if you've got engorged breasts and it's feeling a little bit uncomfortable, what you can do is you can grab a jumper or a pillow. And you can place it just underneath to give your breasts a little bit of support and comfort. If this exercise is just too uncomfortable, do not do it. But what we're focusing on with this one is back strength. So again, as you know, back strength, super, super important. For mums, we need our backs right. Take that gaze down towards the floor. You're going to stretch out the arms out in front of you as much as you can. We're going to have a little bit of tension through those legs so your feet start floating up off the ground. The hands are off the ground as well. And opposite arm and opposite leg is going to paddle with control for some swimmers. If you feel like your lower back is hurting a little bit, then don't go for maximum height. Take it down slightly, and also think about drawing your belly button in towards your spine. And here we've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Drop that forehead down towards the ground. For the next exercise, let's take those heels together, the front of the foot onto the ground. The arms are coming out in front of you. And as you breathe out and as you draw that belly button in towards the spine, you're going to raise the chest slightly and squeeze those elbows back down towards your bum. Hold here for a second and then take it back out in front of you. You can either, in between these reps, rest your hands on the ground, or you can keep your hands elevated. But make sure you keep breathing and you're not holding your breath to get that leverage. Let's do 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's press the ground away. Move your jumper or your pillow if you used it, and take it down into a child's pose. Stretch those hands out in front of you. Let's stretch through the lower back as well, trying to draw your bottom onto your heels. As you breathe out, come all the way up now onto all 4s. We're going to start the movement through our pelvis. So rock that pelvis, tilting that tailbone under. You just want to try and move that lower back for now as we take it into a segmented cat-cow. Drop the chin in towards your chest. Then to reverse it, take that chin forwards, but think about reversing it the other way. So it's a bit like doing a Mexican wave with your spine. Now when you come into the cow, try not to force it. Take everything really slowly. We're looking to stretch out through our spine. Our back takes on a lot of toll during pregnancy and beyond. And we need to give it a little bit more love. Good, so take it nice and slowly, breathing out. As you start coming into your cat, deep breath in. As you drop that chin up towards the ceiling and you tilt that pelvis backwards. One more. Stretch all the way up. Imagine drawing that belly button in towards the spine. Push the ground away from you. And let's uncurl. So we're going to spend a little bit of time in this position. If you feel like you have issues with your wrists, then please do come onto a fist, or if you have a yoga block, that can also help as well to relieve some of the pressure. We're going to work on coordination, core strength, and back strength at the same time. On all fours here. Take your deep breath in. We're going to take one arm out in front of us. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to gather in that, draw your belly button in towards your spine, activate those core muscles, and you're going to hold them here as you alternate the arms, taking one up, out in front of you. You don't need to take it up too high. As soon as you take it up too high, it can affect your position and your back might start to arch. So we're working on trying to hold some core activation here, taking it nice and gently. Again, you can either have a feel or you can come into a t-shirt tent, drop your head down underneath and see if you can see any doming or bread loafing. Good, so take it nice and steady. One arm is coming out first and then the other. Make sure that your supporting arm isn't looking out through the joint, so you have some gentleness through here and you're not pushing that elbow joint through that open side. Let's do one more. If you need to take a little bit of a rest, then do, but otherwise our hands are going to stand firm. And now we're going to extend the leg out far back as you can before you take it back in. So again, really nice and steady. Imagine if you had a water glass on your back, you would want it to stay here. Like before, we don't want to take that foot up too high. Keep that belly button gently drawn in. Try and keep those hips down as well. So if you had head torches on your hips, they should both be facing downwards. We've got two more. Taking it out towards the back, stretch all the way through. And last one, take it back. We're going to do something similar this time. We're going to keep that right angle in the foot. And we're taking it up towards the ceiling and back down. So this requires a little bit more core strength. If it feels like it's too much for you, then you might want to stick with extending the leg out behind you. Got two more. Be strong through those arms. Yeah, try and keep that core tension coming down as well. Let's change over. So drive through the heel. Keep that right angle in the leg. Imagine you are made up. Your trunk and your torso is staying exactly where it is, immobile. And that leg is hinging up and down through the joints. You're made up of two different moving parts at this moment. Yeah, let's take it two more. So you should start to feel this now through your glutes. Good stuff. From here, we'll take it into a stretch. The palm comes all the way up. You're going to slide the hand all the way through. Drop your shoulder to the ground and a gentle gaze up towards the ceiling. Again, if you notice any pulling on a scar that you might have, then that might be a sign you need to have a look at scar tissue massage. Take a deep breath out and come all the way back up. Over to the other side, that palm flips up, drive all the way through. Drop the shoulder towards the ground and take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Yeah, deep breath out and come all the way up. We've got a quick exercise now before we take it up and off the ground. Keep traveling further and further backwards. There you go. We're going to strengthen up now through these big muscles. Standing up nice and tall. Squeeze your glutes. Make sure ribs aren't flaring outwards. So you want to have them roughly stacked over one another. So we've got the ribs stacked over those hips, stacked over those knees. You should be able to, in this position, feel like you've got some core activation that can happen. As soon as you start tilting forward, it's a lot harder to activate your core. And what a lot of people do is they start holding their breath and pressing out with that breath to get a bit more stability. So just draw those ribs down. Hands come across the chest, and we've got 8 tilt backs. So we're taking it back, nice and controlled, and back up again. You should really feel this now through the front of your thighs. If you feel like you've got any pain through your knees as well, you might want to double over your mat. Good. And if you notice any pain, do not push through it. Good. You don't need to go too far back, just as far as you're comfortable. Got 3 more. Squeeze your glutes to help you return back up. Keep those glutes squeezed. Try not to collapse through the chest as you do this. And you've got the last one. Squeeze your glutes. Good. And back up. Fantastic stuff. Grab some water if you need. We're going to take this up and off the ground now. First of all, into a little bit of a warm-up. All the exercises that we're going to be doing in this section are all really useful for helping you re-strengthen through those critical areas so that you can be feeling strong and capable in your body. First of all though, let's warm everything up. Take the feet out so that they're slightly wider than hip width, roughly twice as wide as hip width. You're going to press the outside of the feet down. The toes might be turned in slightly. Also feel like you're just drawing those knees in as you're corkscrewing those feet into the ground. Tuck that pelvis under. The arms are going to come out to the side, palms facing upwards. Let's mobilize through the back first. Taking it down one side and back to the center. Try and keep your lower half as still as possible. Good. And over to the other side. Squeeze your glutes together, keep that pelvis tucked under for this. Try and create a lot of stability through that lower half of your body. Now first one side and then the other. Good. Make sure you're breathing, not holding your breath. We'll take it into a little side bend now. So back to the center, down comes up towards the head, gentle bend over to the side. So we're looking for precision movements. We're not looking to stretch as much as we can. We've still got a lot of hormones running through our body, some of which can actually make us more stretchy than normal. Good. Breathe out as you take it down. And in, you come back up over to the other side now. So our spine often only gets worked forwards. We often are bending it over a lot forwards. And actually it's a good idea Start mobilizing through that side bend as well. Good. Take it in nice, gentle movements. We'll ramp up the activity in a second. Don't you worry. Good. One more. Over on this side. Take those arms into a cactus position. Let's release the feet. As you breathe out, draw that shoulder in towards the knee and stand back up. Breathe out and in. Breathing out and in. So you want to take this as slow as you can. So imagine if at any point I was going to shout stop and you just have to pause and hover. So see if you can have control over every part of this movement. Good, last one. Nice stuff. Let's march through the feet. Keep those toes on the floor. And march up. Let's work through those knees. Let's start activating these muscles through our feet as well. As you're taking the heels off the ground, try and take them off as high as you can. So you're rolling all the way up through that toe and back down again. With the arms, we're going to take them forwards, driving through the heel of the hand, drawing those fingers down towards the outside. And you're going to press forwards. Remember that scapular motion we did? Where we're pressing it forwards, you're going to press forwards and back again. So this feels a little bit like patting your head and rubbing your tummy. Don't forget that downwards pull through those fingers. Taking it out first in front, let's take it out to the side now. You've got front and side. Good. Front, side and up, shall we go? Let's do it. Front, side and up. Good. Front, side and up. We're warming up the shoulders even more. We're getting these joints nice and mobile. Last one. Front, side and up. Let's roll these shoulders forwards. Roll these shoulders backwards. And we are going to get started. So if you do have your weights to hand, please do go and get them. You can grab light weights between half a kilo up to 2 kilos if you fancy it. If you don't have those, then please do feel free to just grab a couple of cans. Got myself some chopped tomatoes and coconut milk. I'm very disappointed that they're not matching. But what can you do? Right, so grab your weights. The critical exercise that we're going to do here that is so good for all stages of postnatal recovery is our squat. Do not groan at me. Squats are so useful. Take the feet slightly wider than hip width apart, toes turned slightly outwards. Doesn't matter if they are also facing towards you, but you kind of want to have them at the natural direction of your hips. So women's hips, and when we stand, we generally have slightly more open hips than men do. You're going to drive that bum backwards, keeping back nice and tall. Keep those knees pressed out so they don't fall in, and stand back up. Bring it all the way down and standing back up. Let's get these arms moving as well. Stand back up, squeeze your glutes nice and tight. Then we're going to come down and all the way up. So for this exercise, you're going to try and get those thighs roughly parallel to the ground before you stand all the way back up. Now, if you notice any leaking or you're experiencing any heaviness through this area, then take your knees slightly closer, take your feet slightly closer, and don't come down so low. That is your first exercise. We're going to take this all into a circuit, and we are going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different exercises. 5 different exercises. You've got 30 seconds for each one. And we're going to start with our squat. So let's go. Taking it down and up. Down and up. Try and keep that stomach nice and engaged as you come down. As you stand up, try not to push through the chest. You're going to squeeze the glutes, but you also want to have those ribs drawn in and together. You've got 10 more seconds. We've got a 30-second rest, and that's when I'm going to introduce you to the next exercise. 3, 2, and 1. You have our static lunge. The left foot is coming in front of the right with the legs. We're taking it down roughly at right angles. Hips are facing forwards, and as we come down, we're drawing the shoulder blades back and up. So you've still got 10 more seconds of this rest. Make sure you're getting into position now. And 3, 2, 30 seconds has started. So draw those elbows back down behind you and drive through those legs to stand back up. So these kind of lunges, whoops, focus on your balance, are really good for balance as well as hip stability. You've got 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Over to the other side now. Make sure when you're doing this that your hips are roughly hip width apart, your feet are roughly hip width apart. And as you come down, you can breathe in as you come down, breathe out as you come up, and draw in your pelvic floor. So again, always try and integrate your pelvic floor with your movements, breathing out and activating your pelvic floor on the effort. Arms up in the air, we've got our 30 seconds, coming down and up. So this is purely about leg strength and also balance. With the arms, we've got this one in. I mean, if you're getting too tired, just leave the arms out. The arms are in there because I really like to not waste time, do as much as we can in this precious time that we have. And last one, all the way up. So the next exercise we have is very, very functional. I call it a tidy up lunge. So imagine you've got a whole bunch of stuff on the ground. You're forever picking up, right, as a parent. And imagine you got some stuff on the ground. A lot of us pick up like this, but not super mums. Super mums come down to a short lunge, straight back, and they stand back up. They find something else, and they come down and pick it up. This is all we're going to do for the next 30 seconds. You're going to walk around your room, pretending to pick things up off the ground as you come into the short stance lunge. So unlike other lunges where you might have the knees at 90 degrees, we're taking smaller steps forwards and we're pretending to pick nappies and spoons and toys off the ground as we go. I mean, if you have a real life situation here, then get in there and do it. Let's get one more of these in. Good stuff. Grab your weights again. Again, we've got another very functional exercise. We're going to add in some back strength to our squat. So from our squat, keep your hands up by the head. You're going to drive those hips back. You're going to stand all the way up. You're going to have that core engaged. Slight bend through the knees. You're going to bend over forwards and up. Let's go. We've got our squat to stand, bending over and up. Squat, stand, bend over and up. So try to keep those core muscles engaged as you're bending over. If you feel like it's too much of a strain on your back, don't take it down so far. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Enjoy your little break. The next one we have, I like this one. So you've got a side lunge with what I call take my baby. For the legs, you're taking it out to the side. The leg in the middle acts as your anchor. And as you come out to the side, you're taking these arms out directly in front of your chest. 30 seconds has started. You're sinking down into that outward leg and you're pushing up as you stand back up. So breathe out as you push all the way back out. Good. If you feel like you're experiencing any donning or you can't manage these stomach muscles during this exercise, then ditch the weights. 6 more seconds. Got a real arm burner in a second. 2, and 1. Right. Are you ready? This is our next exercise. Stand up nice and tall. You've got one supporting leg, other leg is coming out towards the side into leg lifts. With our arms, we can take them out towards the side, and we've got bicep curls as we come out and up. But use this break wisely, because this one is a real burner. Right, let's go. And make sure that standing leg has got a little bit of a bend in it, a micro bend. I'm going to make sure you're not looking out that joint. Good. So breathe out as you take those arms in the leg up. Breathe in as you come all the way down. So you're breathing out. Also think about gathering in the pelvic floor. For 3, 2, and 1. Good. Enjoy this break. Again, strong shoulders, super, super important. And that is what we are also working on, as well as our hip stability as we do this exercise. We take it over to the other side. You have a choice. You can either do the same thing with the arms, or you're going to twist through the arms, first one way and the other, working all the small shoulder muscles. Arms come out to the side, and we've got our 30 seconds. Good. So drive through the heel, press through that heel that's coming out. You've got a bit of a stretch up through the back leg as well, and pull the toe in towards the shin. Got 10 more seconds. How are your arms feeling? Again, like everything, try to keep a little bit of gentleness through the joint. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. You have successfully survived that first round. We are going to do the same thing again. This time, we have got 40 seconds on and 20 seconds off. So we are about to start. First exercise we've got our squats in 3, 2, and 1. Coming down and up. Remember, if you're feeling any issues through your pelvic floor, don't take your bum down so low, or you can take those knees slightly closer together. Good. Because the whole way through, squeeze your glutes as you stand back up. Nice. Keep squeezing. Good. Make sure you're breathing as well. Good. 3, 2, and 1. We've only got a 20-second break this time. So make sure you know what's coming ahead. We've got that static lunge. The arms are coming up above our head, and we're drawing down and up into our pull down. Get yourselves into position for 3, 2, and 1. Coming down and driving all the way up. Good. Breathing out. So you push those arms up above your head and gather in your pelvic floor. Got 20 seconds left. We're halfway there. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. If you need to, give your legs a little bit of a shake. That's absolutely not an issue. On 10 more seconds, if your breaks, you use it wisely. You might do some little hip circles. First one way and then the other. Let's go. Take it over now to the side in position and coming down and up for 40 seconds. Breathing out as you come up. Try and keep your balance. Squeeze through your glutes as you stand back up. Good. Got 10 more seconds. Feel strong through these arms. Driving them all the way up towards the ceiling. 3, 2, and 1. The weights can come over to the side. We've got those tidy up lunges now. So chuck a whole bunch of mess on the floor. We'll use this as a chance to start doing a little bit of tidying up. It's really important when we're doing the motions that we do every day and how we do them is super, super important. 40 seconds has started. So we're coming down and up. And what we notice that as soon as you start rounding up through the back, so you can just try it. Pick up something imaginary. As soon as you start rounding through the back, it already feels a lot weaker through that area. And you don't have those beautiful back muscles to help support your spine. So you can leave yourself more open to strain and injury. Got 10 more seconds. Go around the room, practice your good technique at picking things up and off the ground. Protect your back. Good. 3, 2, and 1. We have our squats and our good mornings. So in a few seconds, we're taking it down and over. Let's go. Coming into our squat, stand, bend, and up. Squat, stand, bend, and up. It's a real nice squat down, stand, hinge, and up. Squat, up, hinge, and up. Really nice. Coming down nice and low. If you're experiencing any of that pelvic floor dysfunction, you know what to do. Come down less deep or take the feet slightly closer together. Got 10 more seconds. Try and keep that engagement through the belly as you bend over. You might have recognized this movement from all those times we're picking your little one from out of the cot. Enjoy your little break. We've next got take my baby, or we should say pass the baby over. I mean, I know very much that during the early stages of being a mum, I was like, just take them, I've had enough. Okay, over to one side and then the other. Yeah, I never realized that having babies would be so relentlessly exhausting. I kind of had it figured that I could get a break whilst my other half took my little one. But in reality, it just wasn't like that. Both my babies didn't want anyone apart from me. And my husband felt quite helpless. So I do get it. That awful mum guilt, I still get it. My kids are a lot older now. Got 5 more seconds. Breathe out. The arms come forward. Try not to raise through the shoulders. And 1 more. And up. Good stuff. We're on to our last exercise now. Before we take it into a really nice little cool down. There is no way that you could have forgotten this one. Got the arms coming out. We're going to drive through that heel, pressing through the heel, pulling that toe up, and taking it into our bicep curls with side leg lifts. Again, try and keep a really nice, strong, stable torso. Taking those weights down and up with control. Good. Breathing out as the leg comes up, breathing in as that leg comes down. Good. How are you feeling? Whilst you're standing, have a quick check. Are your ribs flaring out? Try and draw them down. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Feel those strong arms. Oh, you are a strong mom. You really are, honestly. I think mums are one of the strongest people in the whole wide world, both mentally and physically. You just have to be. Okay, guys. So we're taking it out now. Last exercise. The arms are going to start twisting. And let's take this leg out to the side. So imagine you're undoing a jar. You're untwisting a jar. So stretch all the way down. If this is too much for your arms, get rid of your weights. Or get rid of the weights entirely. Focus, focus, focus. It can be really hard to do 2 things at once. And I do like to try and maximize these exercises. If you're finding it hard, just focus on one. Got 10 more seconds, and then we're done. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Doesn't that feel fantastic, that moment when you release those weights? Right, let's roll these shoulders forwards. Keep moving, keep moving. Let's roll these shoulders backwards. Take a deep stretch forwards, pushing out through the chest, and back in again. Deep breath in, and breathe out as you step back in. Deep breath in, and out. Do one more. And out. Let's take both arms up towards the ceiling. Let's raise up through those legs. We're going to drop back down onto our heels. One hand is going to come onto the wrist. We're going to drive it all the way upwards. We take it into a very gentle bend over to the side. Hold this here for a few seconds. Deep breath in. And let's swap over. Grab the wrist, draw the arm all the way up and take it over to the side. Deep breath in, all the way up. We're going to put our hands into a prayer position. We're going to place it just behind our head. And let's tick-tock first from one side to the other. Nice and gently. Good. Good. From here, clasp the hands. Drop those elbows down towards the floor. Don't try and pull this. Just let gravity play its game. Take a deep breath in. Let's drop the elbows down and over to one side. Deep breath in. And over to the other side. Good. Coming down onto the mat. We've got left leg forwards. Everything else in right angles. You're going to tilt that pelvis under. So as soon as you tilt this pelvis under, you should feel a little bit of a stretch through this back hip flexor. I'm going to stretch forwards. So draw as well the bottom of the ribs down towards your hips without obviously arching over. You want to keep a nice straight back. You should feel a really, really good stretch through here. Lean forwards as much as you need to do this, but keep the back nice and long. Try not to reach forwards. Good. Take it back now over to the other side. Tilt that pelvis under. And let's come forwards. Keep that back nice and straight. Feel the stretch through that hip flexor. You're going to hold it for a few seconds, just where it feels slightly uncomfortable. You don't want it to be properly ouchy. No good to anyone. Good. Let's sit down on the floor. Feet are going to come out in front of us. Take a big stretch upwards, and we're going to round the back and drop our head down towards our knees. So make this a nice gentle stretch. Every single time you breathe out, just relax even more deeply into the stretch. Try not to pull yourself down. Got 3 breaths here. Good stuff. You're going to uncurl all the way up. Come onto your knees. You're going to take that deep breath in. Stretch through those shoulders. I just want you to think of one thing that you are grateful for about your body. And breathe all the way out. That one thing that you're grateful for about your body. I want you to visualize yourself elevating it to a high status. You're proud of it. You're grateful for it. It's amazing. Your body is amazing. Take one last deep breath in. Be thankful for your body, for the strength, for your little one, and for the fact that you have made time today for this session. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're feeling a lot stronger and more capable in your own body afterwards. Motherhood is really tough, but you are also tough.